Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy. And today I wanted to do something a little special. I wanted to take you guys on a journey through magical creation and musical performance. I wanted to take some time to just talk about body percussion, and magic. I've been receiving a lot of comments since I did my last percussion video, and since I was talking about percussion with Ammon and Dion. And Dion and I are both musicians, and this is something that's very central to a lot of my magic and to my connection to the muse and how I am inspired and how I create. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to also just talk about magic in general, to talk about creation and the relation of these things to each other, and how one goes about sort of developing a personal creative piece, something that is deeply inspired and magical, right? So I'm going to take you guys on a journey, right? So I wanted to just kind of talk about how I go about creating a percussion performance and what it all relates to and means to me. The central idea here is this idea of adoration, of trying to ever push yourself forward, arete, to excellence, to ever create more beautiful and profound pieces of inspired art, right? And I do that, and for me, the way that it comes out is through percussion, through body percussion. This is my personal kind of flair, and it's important that everyone connect to themselves and figure out the ways in which the muse flows through you. And this was the way the muse flowed through me. This is how it's always connected to me since I was a very young person. I've been able to enter into these flow states with rhythm and really be able to understand the nature of reality and just connect and feel this beautiful peace and bliss. Most of my mystical experiences have been associated with music or have been related to music and percussion too, and it's just kind of been an outflowing all from here, right? So when I go about trying to create a piece, the idea is to connect to that divine great mother, that ultimate muse, right? And you do this through your personal muse. And you do this by imitating Bacchus, right? It's this idea of Bacchus and adoration of Venus. You know, you're in this love affair, right? Shiva and Parvati. And as you gaze upon that greater muse, you ever perfect your adoration towards her. You learn how to flow, how to connect, how to do what she likes, and you create beautiful, harmonious music. So the key here is you want to harmonize. You want to embody this other that's in harmony with her, right? And that's in this worship, that's in this loving adoration. Like the husband to the wife, right? Out of this pure just desire to know, right? And just like the husband to the wife, it begins as an erotic madness. And then you gain to the depths. You explore her. Your partner is so much more than that. And through continuing gaze and respect and love and ever trying to strive after her, you find her depths. You arrive at that realization that you and her are one and you become one shared entity, right? Beautiful, beautiful stuff. This is kind of that idea, right? To embody all of these concepts into the self, onto the body, okay? And we do this in a couple forms. One is sympathetic magic, and the other is sort of the Saturnian type magic. What do I mean by these things? So, sympathetic magic, we are trying to embody that mother goddess. The first part of our song, the central thing is to set the beat, to set the pulse, that ever-expanding universal rhythm, right? That is which you cannot define time, you cannot make cuts, you cannot do anything without something to compare against. And this is that ultimate thing to which to compare, right? So this is our great mother, the primordial heartbeat, the pulse, the spanda, okay? So how do we do this? Well, in the case of this song that I'm going to show you, what I did was I decided to do it in two ways. One, we intune a beat on the chest, and that beat was inspired through a chant, a phrase, a magical phrase. And I came to this magical phrase through intuition, and it came to me in conversation. I was conversing with a friend. They sent me this essay that was discussing the Minoan linear B in various colors. And I came across this word there, Eru Tara, which means red, ruddy. And it just hit me. This is that bloody earth, right? That earth mother, that primal, raw truth, the black and red, you know, that deep mother energy. And that this is that energy that I'm trying to connect to, right? That's that great mother in my conception of how I visualized it. And it just resonated so deeply with me. And I found that the word was also very poetic. Erutara. And it had the perfect syllables. So I became inspired. I saw that it was a magical click. So then I took this word, and now it's about intoning it not just on the breath, but on the body through percussion. So I would do that through hitting of my chest. Erutara, 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 erutara. And it's a left and a right thing, operating between the poles, being that both sides, right? The Great Mother's this profound abundance. She's everything, right? So really harmonizing in flow, using all of this force and making that central beat that's our driving narrative, right? Our magical call, the name of the mother. That's what we use to draw her down, right? And it doesn't matter what the name is, whatever's sacred to you. This was what was sacred to me, and I made it unique. It had both that traditional connection, but also was inspired, right? So something beautiful that you can connect to and feel really close to. Whatever that is good. And then what I wanted to do next is now I have my center beat. I have my pulse. We want to operate within the pulses. We want to harmonize with the Great Mother. So now we take on our Saturnian aspect, where we are dividing, we are cutting time. We are using that gaze, and we are holding things within place. And we can do that because we can reflect it against the Great Mother. You know, and as a percussionist, I'm someone who's I see things in this flow of these beats and of these different time signatures, right? It's all arbitrary, it's all made up, but it is a way through which we can fit things in and we can communicate within brackets of time, within pulses, within cycles. So this is also about the creation of a cycle, creation of harmony, right? And just like a cycle, it has to have a birth and a death and a turnaround, right? A turnaround that takes us back to the beginning so that we can continue in this pulse. But that turnaround also has to have the potential to be an exunt, right? For you to exit, to die, or to transcend, right? Both, right? So this is what we're going to do next. We're going to add in that Saturnian dissection. So we take our beat, that erutara, and we're going to add finger snaps. Erutara, 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 erutara. And we can just go, right? So we have our center beat. We have our harmonious interaction, right? We have that kind of erutara, erutara. And pay attention to this. because this is our turnaround, right? This is that magical phrase that gets us back to the beginning of our beat, that resets the cycle, resets the cycle, resets the cycle. It's also the crossroads, where there's that chance for ending of the song, or it continues on. And that's up to the performer, right? And this is something that you do. You engage with that muse until you connect. You push yourself in this place until you enter into these ecstatic states, right? The last thing I do is I add in the feet, right? And that's just to get the whole body in the harmony. And you want, again, to be in this pole so that you're really flowing. So Erutara, 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 and you just go from there, right? And you just get into that flow, you get into those places, right? And if I was going to be doing this in a deeply profound magical setting, I would first fast. I would eat a very regimented diet and make sure that everything I consumed was in an offering, right? I would be abstaining from certain things to control myself and to enter into that right space. I would make sure that I'm doing this within my sacred temple space, that place is sacred and pure and reserved for performance. And the performance is to the deity herself, right? The eidolon, that image, right, that you connect to, right? And you use as the divine body on earth, representative of the totality of the Great Mother in the universe. And I would give that to her as an offering, as a profound performance for her and as an engagement with her, right? And through this, she inspires, and you go and flow, and you take it where it goes. Sometimes the song evolves. It becomes very improvisational, and sometimes it goes to the point where you lose sense of self, you lose awareness, you become so lost within the flow, and all sense of pain and anything just fades away, and you're just in this total calm embrace, loving adoration, connection, profundity, and if you push it far enough, you can exalt your body, right, with that turnaround, and you can watch yourself dance. This is my experience, this is my personal gnosis. It's not the same for everyone, but this is how I do it and how I engage. And there's no real secret to it other than loving adoration, performance, and just making it sacred, right? When you write a song or you make a piece, every piece has a part to play. You intune the image, and the image has to be something that can expand, ever expand, and connect you to that one. You want to have this beautiful, grandiose perception, this act of engagement, of loving offering, right? Your offering should ever be expansive, so that you do it again and again and again, and each time you gain something new from the experience. You gain something in the performance, as well as give something, right? And it becomes this unfolding communication, and the two forces start to merge, and you intune that mother energy onto the body, right? You intune that Bacchus Saturnian energy onto the body. You then embody that duality of forms, that Fanis, or that Adranahari Ishvara, Shiva, Parvati, however you wish to view it, right? This is your own thing, right? I take things from that chaos perspective. It's all about what works for you. Make it personal, do it yourself, have fun. Take what images you find beautiful. The idea is to pursue beauty and to engage with it, to create it, to be in conversation, in love and adoration. That's magic. All right, everyone, thank you for watching. I'm Snappy. I hope that was informative, and I hope you guys take something from this and put it into your own creation. It doesn't have to be musical, it can be anything. Just be inspired to love and to adore. Take care.